I have started with the colors of red and green, now blue, to finish off my little trio of mine, giving advice so you know if you're on the right track or not. Today's video, 5 signs you're ahead of most people. The first one I've actually covered in an entire video of mine, a single word holding incredible power, and that word is no. You're able to say no to whoever is in front of you, simply no, because you know who you are and what you tolerate and what not. Exactly like I mentioned in the video, you might think it's close to impossible saying that when it comes to the workplace, to your superior, to your boss. You might be actually quite mistaken. You have to understand, people do not have self-esteem on a large scale. By you showing up, truthfully, honestly demonstrating why a certain thing cannot be done or why you demand a raise in money, you are highlighting to your boss you are different. You are able to negotiate. You are able to articulate yourself. You are able to present yourself in a certain way that might actually later on benefit the entire company. Because in order to get more money, you need to be able to lead people. You need to be able to lead people to a certain outcome. There are, of course, people they are quite knowledgeable, they are skilled, they know what they're doing in that particular area of the company. Yet for 2 entire decades, they don't get a raise. Why is that? Because the company doesn't require that particular person to have more money in that area. They're actually just quite happy to have that person at that place, at that status, and that's it. Someone who now says no, or wants a raise, is someone who is popping up out of the gray crowd. And by you showing up and saying no and highlighting to your boss, he or she might actually not just tolerate you like the rest, but be very, very impressed. And that simple no might lead to further discussion, which may lead to a new job offer, which may lead to a raise in money, actually even, depending on the circumstance, get you closer to your superior. But it takes strength to say no, which most people lack because people are people pleasers. That you have to understand. No can also be used when it comes to friendships, because that actually shows you value quality over quantity. You rather have a small circle of friends that you can trust your most intimate things actually about, than having or being around people who are wearing a mask. They are a person, they are a persona showing off a facade. They are able to actually fill an entire house of 30, 40, 50 people quite easily because they're blending in with their environment, blending in with the people that they, for example, hope to gain something from. They show up in a certain way, do certain things, talk in a certain way to have a certain outcome, maybe actually even manipulating someone to do something for them. So there's already a calculated move going on. Deceivers, manipulators, liars. That is something you do not want to have around you. By saying no and also knowing who you are, you show up as having standards. You do not tolerate someone who wants to manipulate you, who wants to deceive you, who leaves certain aspects of the truth out because they would know that you would be quite mad, and quite frankly so. You want someone around that shows up for you. If you show up for them, you want them to show up for you, right? If you want to message someone, you expect the message to be delivered again in a certain time frame. You do not want to wait for simple replies, for example, 2, 3, 4 days or entire weeks. That's not a friend. That is just someone that you get along with. And people, unfortunately, use the term friend way too often. Ask yourself a simple question. Can you show them your deepest desires without them laughing about you? You have a certain goal, you want to have a certain type of money, a certain type of outcome of life, and just watch their reactions. If that goal of yours raises the bar of value way above them, they're gonna laugh about you. They're gonna say things that you can't achieve them, that you are delusional, that to even think about that. They might mock you because they themselves have never thought in those categories. Now you suddenly show up and demonstrate that. Demonstrate character, integrity, and honor maybe, that they do not have. You know who you are. Once again, always do the inner work, because doing the inner work knows who you know who you are. You know your strength. You know how to show up. You know how to get a certain outcome of life. You present yourself differently. You move differently. And these people don't. And they will mock you, envy you, and hate you later on. Once again, are those people really friends? Or is it just some temporary local people around that sooner or later are going to vanish anyway? Once they, for example, go to a certain college, a certain university, they meet someone, they come together, and they want to move away. Even by moving away in today's world, you would think, hey, there's a lot of messaging apps, there's the internet in general, you know. We can still communicate, but the contact still vanishes. Because there was never a friendship to begin with. And you do not want to have people around who laugh about your dreams and goals, or who pressure you to do certain things that you from your heart feel are not right. Stay away from low quality people, very important. Since you know who you are, and I always put great emphasis on that very particular subject. You have standards, you have values, you show up with character, integrity, basically strength. You move in a room, people might watch you immediately, sometimes actually not understanding why. You move through life differently. And you might have actually noticed that certain people avoid a lot of drama and nonsense and bullshittery in their life, where other people seemingly fall into pits of despair again and again and again. Because you have to understand, to know yourself means you have knowledge about yourself, not just about yourself, but also about the surroundings. Your inner world will always reflect into the outer world. Since you know who you are, you move differently. You avoid nonsense. You avoid bullshittery and garbage. You save yourself a lot of headache. Simply because you put time in to think about certain things that are of interest to you, while other people don't, because they are all the time about entertainment, fleeing from reality, fleeing from their problems, especially their own self-embodied problems deep inside, because that is painful to realize, to face and bring out to the outside world, knowing that they are basically, in some instances, piece of trash and nothing else. People who are happy with themselves have something going for them. They create meaning to their life. And if that meaning to their life has a great impact, a very positive impact, without destroying someone else's values, someone else's resources, whatever, that shows up of interest to other people. Hence they're influencing them to become better. People who are deeply angry with themselves, who hate themselves, who do not love themselves, will always gossip, will always talk negatively about someone who has their shit going, of someone who is of character, of integrity, because they themselves do not have those values. They have time. They themselves could, for example, go to the gym, show up consistently, demonstrating discipline, and getting in shape within a year or two. Yet they don't. Why is that? Because they don't know who they are. They would rather gossip about someone else's life, even though that particular person might have, for example, left them already years ago and there's still gossip going on because they haven't done certain things, they haven't accomplished certain things, they haven't loved a certain person in a certain way that should have produced a certain outcome, blah, blah, blah. There's a religion involved, there is nonsense involved, there's a financial gain involved, all sorts of problems. People who are successful will always be successful, and they will always inspire other people to be successful as well. They will even help you to get there. Huh? Here's my hand, grab it. Because successful people demonstrate over years and years and years again certain characteristica that makes them superior to others. That means you have to face yourself at one point. You can't run away from problems all the time and deny them and live in a delusional world surrounded by delusional morons who enable you to be delusional yourself again. Unfortunately, that is the case for many, many people out there. Their loser environment friends make them think that everything is okay, that they are good. Don't raise yourself, you're good enough. Don't work out more often, it's already good enough. You don't need more money, it's already good enough. Come on. Another aspect, which is just a small portion of the overall image, being you have money. You are successful in the materialistic world that we all see because it's all around us, right? Money gives you the opportunity to free yourself from morons, stupid people, and idiotic situations. The job you don't want to do anymore. The morons you don't have to be around anymore as well, because now having money gives you the opportunity, for example, to leave the entire country even. Not just the state or the town that you reside in. You just move away completely. You cut off all the past and leave it behind. That's a powerful move. Not many people can do that. Money also gives you the opportunity to decline an offer. You don't want to do it because you value your time. Right now, instead of, for example, taking on an offer that would give you, I don't know, let's just imagine something of 25,000 euro/dollars. You can say no. Because right now you want to enjoy peace. You want to enjoy silence. Money gives you that. You can just say no. That's it. You don't have to even explain yourself to people. You just say no, I don't care. End of a story. Because people always have a need to explain and dig deeper and why they can't do so. No. Fuck off, I don't need that. Because you know who you are and you have, as a bonus, money. You can already say, by knowing who you are, have strong core elements of integrity, honor, and a strong personality. There already you show high value standards and you can say no and blah, blah, blah. But by having money, that is something that everyone understands. I've mentioned it quite a few times in my videos. Death and money is what stupid people all around the planet know and understand without even questioning it. Inner peace, silence, energy, spirituality, the art of breathing and being in peace with oneself and with the universe. That is something that most people don't understand. Because what is that? They can't see it, they can't grasp it. It's only something you can feel. And if you can't feel it, you can't comprehend it. But people can comprehend money. Because money is a value of energy. Money is energy. And all people have agreed that money has a certain standard, just like gold and silver, stocks, because it's associated with that type of energy. That type of money resembles that type of outcome. I can give you 300k in paper. You give me that house, for example, because everyone around the planet has agreed that money has value. It's only a small portion of the overall image because it is also a very dangerous one. when it comes to low quality people, especially on social media, the internet after all. You have to understand that there are people who all the time need a dopamine kick, they need a rush. And you can now see that very well with crypto and the trading community. A lot of moronic morons demonstrating when things are going well, they're flexing their money, they're flexing their cars, they're showing off with 6 or 7 different women. And when things don't go as planned, they destroy their laptops, their phones, they destroy Windows, even everything. Which shows you how immature these people actually are. The roller coaster of emotions when it comes to trading, ups and downs, the highs and lows, the rush in general. And the people behind the screen sometimes not being able to breathe. Very immature, not manly after all. The meaning behind it, simply put, money is not real. It's just a hype. If it works, they can flex. If it doesn't, they lose everything. And by losing everything, they explode. They show their real character, which is destroying the environment, not valuing what you have. I would never destroy my laptop, even if that laptop is now 15 years old. I'm wearing shoes that I've bought myself 14 years ago, and I'm still wearing them because I value what I have. Because real men value what they have. Real men also value silence and peace. Once again, money can offer you those things. You can just decline them without having to articulate yourself. You just say no, fuck off, piss off. That's it. The dangerous aspect when it comes to social media being there are people, once again, they need a dopamine kick, that rush. There are people who have millions of subscribers. People celebrate them. They are successful. They're showing their pools. They're showing their mansions, their cars, the supercars, the all types of watches. I don't know, from $10,000 to $100,000. Millions of subscribers. Everything is going. Yet these people are empty on the inside. And you can see that some of them, the way they talk, the way they demonstrate themselves, hyperactive, nonsense content, bullshittery, simply entertainment, nothing else, no value. Every video needs to top the other one, and they are like hooked up on their phones. How many clicks? In what time frame? How many people liked? What kind of content did people write in the comment section? Because they're empty and very few are actually close to suicidal levels if they don't achieve certain things. Hence, people who make a lot of money, once they are losing huge chunks of that through trading, through, I don't know, whatever it is, speculating, they end their lives. They lose 10 million, they kill themselves and leave their family, for example, behind. But they were so successful and powerful and whoa, this is a man, this is a woman. No, absolutely not. Money in the end shows the real character. That's all. Now we're coming closer and closer to the parts that interest me greatly, which is the energetic part, which is the spiritual part. And by also reading the title right now, Overhuman, Superhuman, and Above and all beyond. Having money, having everything, that's a bonus. To me, this is my personal feeling to it. Not emotions, whatever, it's experience, how I see and perceive the world, how I have noticed about people, blah, blah, blah. What is an overhuman? An overhuman is a human who has overcome oneself over time. They have overcome their limitations. When it comes to strength, speed, agility, adaptation, skill set, knowledge, not the strongest in the universe survives. It's actually the one who adapts the fastest to a required scenario, because you need to produce a certain outcome. If strength is needed, you go and work on your body. If speed is needed, you do the same, just in a different way. If you need knowledge, you read books, you watch successful people, you do not listen to morons who don't have their life together, who are actually frustrated coming home from their low income job. You never listen to these people because that is an energy around them that by talking negatively all the time, they're trying to put that on you. And later on, they might feel better when you are feeling down. Because that is the work of energy. Something that cannot be seen still has great impact. Wi-Fi cannot be seen, has great impact. You can search the entire internet. You can search and read the almost entire knowledge, basically, of humanity. Yet people only use it for nonsense, most of the time, and don't even know how to inform themselves. Overhuman means you are above the normal human. You do not have average experiences anymore. You do not have average outcomes anymore. You do not have average friends anymore. You do not have average interactions anymore. Nothing of that. It's all above, since overhuman. You are surrounded by people. Sooner or later, I can guarantee you that. You might be for some time alone. Later on, you will be surrounded by those people of high standards, high value, who have also gone that path. It might be a different path for everyone else, because after all, everyone has to walk their own path. And some are stupid enough to let themselves talk out of their own path, because they need to fit a certain type of image. Could be a society image, could be a family image, could be a low friend circle image, how they should be. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future, basically. People of character walk their own path because they are strong enough to not care about the opinions of other people. Just like, let's go by this example. I take out a gun. What do I have to think about? Okay, I can point the gun at someone and shoot, or at something and shoot, but I have to expect that I might get shot as well, right? If a content creator creates content, they have to expect sooner or later that moronic morons are going to show up who themselves have failed tremendously in life and are going to hate on the content that that particular individual is putting out for the world, right? You have to expect that. It's not something like, ooh, why are they hating? You have to expect that, because that is how the world basically works. Good and bad, light and dark. There are people who will never work on themselves. It could be actually very well their own fucking karma to watch you rise above. They have to, in this lifetime, watch you rise, and they have to stay and remain down there. Because by all logic, yeah, someone who is above the age of 18, let's just say it that way, there is a living being on two legs, right? Above the ages of 30, 40, 50. They have gone through school, they have gone through college, they might have a ring finger and all this nonsense. They are completely accepted by society. They are a good citizen, right? Why does that intelligent individual fail at life? Why are people fat? Why are people stupid? Why are people who think they're intelligent, of high IQ, stupid and do stupid decisions that produce stupid outcomes? I thought that's an intelligent being on two legs. Being on two legs requires a lot of energy. Just look when someone gets ill, how suddenly, severely ill, how suddenly these people, regardless the age, can't walk properly. All strength gone. But that's taken as a guarantee. When you watch someone else, you think they are similar to you, which is a mistake that no one should do. You should never suppose that something is the way it presents itself to you. You should never assume that people think the same way as you do. That's also when it comes to mathematics. That's why a professor wants to see how you're calculating things, because sometimes you can actually go a complete different path and still have the same result. And that professor wants to know how you did it. He can't assume or think how you think. But we all the time want to look at people and assume, yeah, they get what I say. And no, they don't. I've seen a few comments on some of my videos where I thought it is crystal clear what I'm talking about. And that stupid moron didn't understand it. Not the slightest. Actually misunderstood everything. You can only go a certain way, and then you have to stop. Just like money. Huh? Silence. The mission to overcome yourself means you have to face yourself. You have to seek the truth. Therefore, it can actually help you greatly when you are alone for extended periods of time. Like I said in the first topic of quality over quantity friendship. It might benefit you greatly to be alone. Don't be sad for yourself that, for example, you have for, I don't know, the next 3 years close to 0 friends. Or you already had that. We can go that way as well. Hopefully you have used the time to improve about yourself, to read books, not just personal development books. If someone would ask me how many books should they go by when it comes to personal development, I would say 3 to 4 and nothing else. Everything else is a waste of money. What you should have is more about fantasy, something about classic, romance, love, something that gets you thinking, being creative. People might say, you need to have this book and this book about money and blah, blah, blah. And then you have 20 books about money, how to produce money. And okay, then you have people who they might have the money later on. Yeah, I give them that. But they are soulless. They are not creative at all. Nothing. It's just a machine. A machine that has learned to produce and walk a certain path to produce a certain outcome. And once that path doesn't work anymore, where's the creativity? Gone. It's absolutely gone. That individual has never overcome themselves. They have just mimicked something. You need to overcome yourself all the time, which creates in itself meaning to life, because you become better, and by becoming better, you produce better results overall, right? But somehow, many people don't seem to grasp that, because we come back to number 1 again, or number 2. They do not know who they are, and they never will, because of certain reasons. Some might actually wake up to reality and change and become better, yes. The many, though, never will, because they're too stupid, no discipline, no character. They will never say no to an authority person, and it might be their karma to never develop, to see other people, younger people, succeed at a way faster rate than they themselves. And they have to live with that. They have to see that you influence a lot of people. Maybe not even actively, passively. Just your surroundings, your friends. You might be actually a great friend, uplifting everyone around you. Just 1 or 2, for example, won't. And then they split up over time. You might be doing it actively, like me, for example. You have a online presence. Maybe you're someone, a lot of people are booking you to learn from you in persona, at a local place. Since you develop and show up for yourself strong core elements, that is something which is all about leadership once again. You lead people so they can lead themselves in the end. Therefore, you can actually afford to say, I want to have more money. My time is valuable. 1 hour, $500, $1,000, whatever it is that you, for example, are doing or someone else is doing. You can demonstrate that. That's my time. And people who are intelligent are going to see the value in it. While people who are not intelligent will always have an excuse why not to pay, why not to listen, why not to wake up in the morning, why not to do sport, why not to eat in a healthier way, why not to work on discipline, why not to clean their apartments all the time, because it's a tedious and lazy. Yeah, lazy. They're lazy. They hate cleaning because they haven't done it over extended periods of time. Successful people turn things they hate into things that they love. Therefore, you can see some videos on the internet, for example, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, how high value people clean their apartments and they fully enjoy it. I enjoy to vacuum, I enjoy to clean the table, I enjoy to do everything, organize everything. Oh my god. And it doesn't use up any energy for me because I enjoy the process. I turn on music, I turn on certain perfumes, I do candles, I don't know what else. I can do whatever I want. I can even turn it off, music wise, and still do it because I produce something with my hands. I produce something by going around, having an organized room, having an organized presence, knowing where things are. You open a cabinet, you can see everything. You don't have to, you don't have to move around to grab something out. It is all visible at once, just like the soul. If it's clean on the inside, it's clean on the outside. If it's messy on the outside, that means the person is messy in the inside, on the inside. Once again, stay away from low quality people. At work, these people can show up, act in a different way, because someone else has the power over them to fire them, and they need money. They act in a certain way, they come home, they are frustrated, they are drained because they need to place someone that they, for example, aren't. And over time, you can see that with people. And the outcomes always show. The truth always comes out sooner or later. And that's the wonderful thing. You inspire people by showing up. You inspire people. You don't necessarily have to talk much. You just show by doing. And they see the results and they want to have it for themselves. You have the body that losers will never have. You have the money that morons will always dream about. You have that girl or that guy that the other gender always wanted to have, but they don't have the discipline. They don't have the character at all. They try to eventually even mimic someone, dress like them, sound like them, buy the things that they have, that they show, for example. And still it isn't enough because the energy will never be the same, never ever. Which is a poor thing. It's a poor realization to understand that there are people so weak to not go their own path, to walk their own path. They're just jealous. Jealous of someone else's success, jealous of their money, jealous of their significant other, jealous of the lifestyle, jealous of peace and silence. Peace and silence is what I personally honor the most, and every real man does so. Where there is no peace, there is no love. Whatever doesn't give me peace, I'm gone. Every man is gone. This is something women should actually understand. Don't play games. Peace and silence. And food is the key to a man's love. By showing up, you show up as a strong individual, while the rest is grey. They are the same, they are weak, they are not strong enough to lift up their head. Even, let's go by this analogy. Even by you standing, let's just imagine we have here stairs, okay? A staircase. Even by you standing on your spot, most people in life are broken down by school, the college, they are mocked later on by teenagers, and later as well the workplace. They themselves are not strong, so they walk down. You are still standing here, which naturally means you are above them. Now, if you decide to climb up and work on yourself, you are even further ahead than them. And they will be thinking like, how dare this person to actually do that? You just moved 2 stairs up. They climbed down 6. So just by definition, you are way ahead of them, way ahead. Because they need to get up the stairs again, where you started, and you're still ahead. The overall message being, let's summarize it once again. You are able to say no. You have a small circle of friends, or let's just imagine you have quality friends. You have some money, because this is after a materialistic world combined with the invisible world, the body and the soul, and together you are perfection. You inspire people, and you have peace in your life. Doesn't mean that you're lazy, it can mean that you're the most hardcore motherfucker out there, doing a lot of crazy things. Yet when you're home, there's internal peace and external peace. So don't associate peace and silence with being lazy, not ambitious. That's far from the case. Actually, those very, very crazy people, super crazy when it comes to sport, running, ultra marathons, climbing, those are the most peaceful people you will ever meet. Because in order to accomplish these extraordinary feats, you have to know who you are. Which once again, we come to the beginning of the video, most people don't know who they are. And it is always going to resolve about that. Because their perception is a completely different one, a distorted one, way, way, way ahead, away from truth. The closer you are to truth, the more peaceful your life becomes. Have the courage to be yourself. And with 2025 ongoing, strength and honor.